on this week's episode, I'm actually not on the podcast. And there's no, the guys just talk all things Yu-Gi-Oh! In this one, so, they talk about the shit old deck towards the very end. Light spoilers. And if you're keen to hear their reaction to Shadows, well, it's about an hour in, so good luck with that. And now to Lachlan.
Thanks, Bragg, and I'm Lachlan. This is the Cowboy for Game podcast, and today I am joined by Tomothy, Jake. Give the vocal cue so that they know what sound you are.
You already pointed to the next person, so I assume that we're moving on.
And Andy Drew.
Yes, that is me.
And I'm Lachlan. I think I already said this, but I am Lachlan. And today we're having a Bragg-free podcast, besides that little intro bit at the start.
And I am Lachlan.
I feel like that's the sequel to I Am Legend.
And
I'm Lachlan.
you guys remember that, I am Danny? I'm Danny? No, never mind. It's an old meme. Alrighty, so how was our week in Yu-Gi-Oh? We'll start with Tomothy.
The pre-release was shit.
Yeah? I didn't go.
Yeah, no, the set's real bad for a pre-release format.
That's why I didn't go.
Yeah.
And
then Tuesday was shit.
Why was it?
Because I couldn't play the new cards.
You didn't have them anyway.
Yeah, I did. I had cauldrons.
Oh, you mean those new cards?
Yes.
Jake, how was your week in Yu-Gi-Oh? Or week and a half, considering the last time we did the podcast.
Yeah, how was your month in Yu-Gi-Oh? I thought Sunday was okay. It wasn't a great set, to be fair, for Sneak Peek, because there was way too much supporter stuff. So, you'd have to open a decent thing to really get any sort of synergy. I did not do that. However, I still managed to win. Because I am the best.
As in you won, the actual tournament?
The actual tournament.
Oh.
Yeah. And, my actual set thing was garbage, but then the packs that I won and obtained in other methods, got some decent stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I got a fair bit of the Unchained stuff, which I'm looking for.
Andy's favourite deck?
Oh, he loves it. He understands it so much too. That's why he's talking so much shit about it.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's not good. It's just fun. So I got a fair bit of that.
Kind of like Mech Knights.
You say these things to hurt me. I won't buy in.
I don't agree with Anger.
Sticks and stones.
This place till we fucking start talking about Dynamist, I'm gonna take a shit all over you.
It won't matter, it's the ocean, dude. Lots of people shit in the ocean.
Worst defense I've ever heard. No one even mentioned the ocean.
Well, Dynamists, they're water.
They're machines.
From the water. They're water type.
They're machines.
So?
Machines. And then Tuesday was Tuesday. I didn't win, therefore it didn't exist.
Who did win?
Josh.
Oh no, never mind. Tuesday didn't happen. What a terrible night. We didn't get any numbers there. No one showed up except Josh. Anything else?
No.
Andrew Drew.
I've had a bit of a leave of absence due to uni and other stuff. So
Other stuff?
World of Warcraft.
Such
World of
as...
Warcraft Classic, yeah, it's been fucking, that's the tits.
Are you level 80 yet?
Yeah, 97.5%. To my virginity. But,
Does it, after a certain amount of World of Warcraft, do you get your virginity card
Yes,
back?
yes,
are
you do.
you're a virgin again?
You do. It gets introverted.
You could become a priest like Logan.
Yes. Roll a priest.
We're all priests on this blessed day.
But I have been keeping up with I don't know, watching a lot of stuff of Lithium and other Yugi tubers and stuff like that to see what's
Lithium.
changed and what's new. So some cool stuff coming out, but
Lithium's not that bad, you know.
Lithium's great. I think
I'm sure he's a fantastic duelist, but fuck, I can't listen to him.
Don't
No.
like the accent, or...
It's not that I don't like it, I can't understand him.
Yeah, I think that's the way for a lot of...
He does very good
subtitles,
theory.
bro.
I like his theory crafting. He's quite good with that stuff. Puts it together well, but the reasoning's quite nice as well. But so there's a lot of stuff I'm looking forward to later on down the track, but nothing that's come out too recently that I've been too concerned about. Still just on the Thunder train and just probably going to main Nibiru's now and just hope to drop lots of Dwayne Johnsons on people.
Yeah, Nibiru is probably the best card in the game at the moment.
Arguably. It's probably the most They're definitely like
It's meta defining.
Yeah.
For sure. It is defined this whole meta.
I think it's kind of gotten to that point where it's very maxi-ish, where it's like, maxi was typically, sometimes you think, oh, it's a hand trap, so you run hand traps when you know you're going second, but then there'd be just things that were the exception. The maxi's like, you run it always. And Nibiru I found it seems to be very similar. Even Salamangreats, there's a lot of them now main decking it, and they still go first, but it's just good enough that you can just main it.
Yeah.
As soon as things start going out of control, you're just like, oh, I guess we'll just...
I think if you have any room in your deck, you should put these cards in, even if you have to go over 40.
Yeah. It's just, my main concern is just running it at locals, because we've got fucking Altergeist and True Draco all over the place at locals. So I'm like,
Do you think True Draco's best hand summons 5 monsters?
Yeah.
Or 5 times in the turn?
And even then, it's the back row that you're more concerned about with them anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So for locals, I'd almost want to swap that for evenly. Just because there's so many fucking back row decks at locals.
This is why our locals suck so much. It's just not indicative of any meta that exists in real life outside of our locals.
Yeah, I think the next regionals that I manage to get a chance to go to, I'll probably be main decking Nibiru's. I'm not sure what that'll be because I'll be probably coming up to a lot of working. So I'm not really sure which close regionals we'll be able to go to, but we'll see how we go.
Haven't you already pre-registered for the central one?
When's that?
When's that?
No,
that's when I'm in...
late November.
That's when I'm in Griffith for my nephew's christening.
That's right.
Yeah, it's like
I'm
literally
not
on the
really
day. I'm gone for like a week and it's literally the day of. I'm gone, but shit happens.
Get damn.
Just go later. Tell them to put it off.
Yeah, but yeah, that's my current investments in Yu-Gi-Oh. But I look forward to coming to locals this weekend and going to locals a bit more often now because things have chilled out a little. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've just been theory crafting a lot because I don't have a lot of time at the moment, but
How can I make diamonds better?
and I figured out a way.
Stop them for pendulums?
No. Pendulums are pretty good at the moment. We'll get to pendulums in a second. So Dynamist, basically if I drop the Thunder Dragons, I can run 3 Seraphis and 3 Cold By. And still do combo.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it's at 40 cards. So, that seems pretty good. I do have to sort of play more Garnets. Because those become Garnets as well. If your opponent has nothing, you can discard one of them. You definitely can't discard both of them. So it means you need to either draw, Charge or Rescue Rabbit or something along those lines. That new, what was it, the Tenyi monster? The
Link?
The Link? The 3 links down? I can kind of abuse that with Dragong, as a going second play.
Yeah.
It's not great, but I can do it.
But it's just a big 3k thing, right?
It's 26, but it also says, well, no. It says, if you control no other effect monsters besides that, which I can get to, I can work my turn into that. Basically, destroy as many cards on the field
you
up
mean
to
the Link 2?
No, the Link 3.
The new Ultra? Master
Yeah.
of the Tenyi?
Yeah.
Sure.
What, is it a Tenyi?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, then I'm thinking of a different... if you're talking about a Link 2, I'm thinking of a Link
What is
3.
Link 3?
Yeah.
I always thought it was Link 2.
Well, with Dragong, I can... going second, I have some sort of play now. I can pop their stuff and see how it goes from there, really. It's not... Look, it's not great, but it's not the worst play out there, either. Because you can make it pretty easily off Electromite and any other monster. And then if you've got 2 Dragongs on the field, you can use it to effect before going into Gear Gigan. Or you could just hard make it and then Pendulum summon after using its effect. The options are limited. But... Pendulum's been fun though. I've been really... Amorphages. Who'd have fucking thunk it? Amorphages are the key to Pendulum's success at the moment because you could floodgate everything.
Yep.
There is a floodgate in that deck for everything. There's a floodgate in that deck for responding.
Yeah. There's a floodgate in there for Draco.
That makes me moist. Yeah. That's been really fun. I've been trying out a few different things in Pendulum. Kind of want to make it a bit like my old list that I used to run because that deck was very consistent. I can make kind of the same board. I just have to find another way to, like, instead of going into Rusty, I need to go into some sort of Guard Dragon Tempest Dragon Link play. And then I can still do the same thing with Zephyr Nui, so I don't get Dark Ruled. And so yeah, it's
I'm saying that though, not a lot of people use Dark Ruler.
well, yeah, but it's still an extra negate just for summoning it, and you always send it off thingy, unless you want to send like, I would side it out for some Morphage stuff probably, because I'd only really run Goliath in the main. I think I know people like running Sloth, but I'm not entirely sure why.
I think it's only because, like, if you hard draw Sloth, you can just summon it. Because Goliath is level 8, so you can't summon it within, like...
That's fair, but it also leaves you more open to Phantasme. Whereas with Goliath, Phantasme can't beat over it.
I don't think... Oh, wait, is it 2350 for Sloth?
Yeah, so for Sloth, you need to summon it basically under Sayuja for it to have any great effect. Which is possible, but it's not... It doesn't leave you in a great space.
Yeah. Okay. I thought it was more than that. Well, if you have Harmonizing in the scale, you could always buff it a bit.
Yeah, I guess. Harmonizing is good. I don't know why people don't run that at more than one.
Who's running it at 1?
The whole of the Pendulum group.
They should be shot.
Triff.
Don't get me started on fucking True.
It needs to be run at 3. That is
It's too good not to see. And
that
you
is the
can't-
best magician.
Yeah.
There is no magician that's better than that. I saw a list today that was playing White Wing. Why? More like White Wing.
Jesus Christ.
You remember when you needed another thing so you could make Omega and
And Boo Googles.
no the come off it. The
Words.
I'm not gonna find it. The one that couldn't be destroyed or something like that. Like the Synchro. That was running the very start of Petal of Magician in Link
Oh,
format.
Beals.
BLs, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jesus.
You'd make those.
That's a blast from the past. Beals. I love Beals.
Yeah, Beals is great. So the next set or this set?
Yeah, so it got released today, Chaos Impact.
Chaos Impact.
Some interesting stuff, not great stuff. So like its biggest thing was probably the, like, in terms of actual number, the amount of Glad-based support that it had.
Yep.
So a lot of new stuff came out for that, like the Test Panther link, a couple of new fusions, a lot of spells and traps and stuff, a couple of main deck stuff. Like, there's a lot of support.
I'm happy for Glad Beasts.
I'm not.
I'm glad for them.
Nah, fuck them off.
How do you feel about Glad Beasts? Andrew?
I think I don't know, the videos I've seen, they look pretty good. Like, they're a bit fragile, but like...
What isn't at the moment, besides all the good decks? Like, what isn't fragile?
I think Salad is probably one of the more resilient decks at the moment, because like I've found plenty of times where I'll do like what I think is a really good Ash, and then I'll just kind of keep going and going and going, and then to a lesser extent, but Orcus I think are still quite resilient.
Yep.
In what they do, and they similarly, I think that's kind of ties back to what we were saying before. Why Nibiru is so good at the moment, because it's a little bit too much to come back from often with Nibiru, at least for the turn.
If you wait for the right time, yeah.
Yeah, so it seems weird, but like it's not fully power crept, but I feel like Ash has gotten reasonably power crept.
I would agree, actually.
Yeah, 100%. Like, there's so many decks now where if they happen to have a different thing to Ash, like if they have multiple things to Ash, it's almost irrelevant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Salad's a prime example. That you can Ash something, and they'll just be like, "Cool, all right, do this instead." Same board, pass.
Yeah, you never know with the deck. Like, like 100%. So you Ash on the Mirage Stalio, but then if they turn around and go, "Okay, cool, I'll just sign up mining, ditch the JJ Gore that I already had in hand, so it's something else, now it's engrave," and then you're like, "Well, cool, fuck me, right?" Like that's pretty much what we're at.
I pretty much like my policy at this point is just to Ash the Gazelle.
Yeah.
Whether
Makes
they're
sense.
sending a monster or sending a trap, like that's
It's something they don't have, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's very fair. That's very fair. What do you reckon is the top deck at the moment? Would you reckon it's solid?
I wouldn't say
Dynamist.
it's salad. No, it's never Dynamist. It never will be Dynamist.
Once we get that link I made.
I'd say it's probably like the new format of Dragon Link hasn't been proven here yet, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But like, if I had to lean towards stuff that's proven, I'd probably say Thunder Dragon variants.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
I don't think they're bad. I just don't think they're as good as people like they're supposed to be at the moment.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, hang on, I take that back. Moonlight Orcus.
Oh yeah.
The
Yeah.
deck's still fucking
That's the
insane.
weird. I suppose
Like,
it's one of the
has-
few that can still pump out Azathoth early enough,
Yeah,
right?
that's
And
the
then-
thing. Like, they don't care if you make them go first and you've got a Nibiru sitting in hand. Someone has a thought, continue turn as normal. Like, it doesn't hurt them at all to just
was
start
it?
off with a
It was,
hard as a thought.
Yeah, I think this is where. Oh yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, if you're hard Azathoth, then it's kind of rough. Like you essentially need impermanence to kind of get you through. So I've got the mindset now where I'm like, I'm very strongly considering dropping Ash from the main. Like, I don't know, it's that card that's just universally so good, but it used to just be a universal 10 out of 10, and now it's like, yeah, like the 7
On
out
its
of 10
day,
top
it's
of-
still 10, but on it, like there are a lot more matchups where it's sort of like a
Yeah.
6.
The better decks you verse, the less it seems to do stuff. So it's like I almost want to just run like the successful for me Thunder Dragon wise. The best list at the moment seems to be running like triple Phantasma and triple Nibiru.
Yeah.
And like the Phantasma is half its job is to obviously help
Yeah,
out Brig.
it's basically having 6 Nibirus.
Yeah. It's put back extra Nibirus when you draw 2, or it's get to the Nibiru when you didn't draw one. Like that's
It's that good. Nibiru is that good.
yeah, because like you tribute your own Phantasma and who gives a shit, right? Like
Yeah.
if
Most
you
of the
wipe
time,
that-
like, you don't actually care about the Phantasma. Like, it was okay in the Striker matchup because it made it much harder for them to actually get at your board. But now Striker, as far as I can see, is falling from grace quite a bit. Like,
Oh, I don't think they're that bad.
that's the thing. It's probably not that bad, but people just don't want to play it. People don't want to prove that it's still good. They have it.
That's what that happens with a lot of decks. It's like these decks that just have terrible representation, and it's like
look if
these decks would top if they were played by anyone competent.
Yeah, like if you were forced to, and like if you were really trying to make a point, then you could do it. But I think it's one of those things where even though, like, I'm 100%, not a victim, sorry, I'm a sucker for the vanity of trying to use something slightly less good and then trying to prove that it's better. I think most of us can agree with that. Yeah, 100%.
I think I can agree more than anyone
I think
here.
Lachlan and I had fucking.
Yeah.
we're driving that train.
If you look at any of our like truly best players,
off the
like
rails.
obviously like Bowden, obviously for example, the very best players have zero attachment. They seem to have zero attachment to any deck type,
They'll-
and they'll
they'll
just say
pick up and
what's
switch.
the best.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
that's all the best players care
Yeah.
about is what deck is the most consistent to win.
Yeah, and that's
Like,
exactly.
they could win with anything.
And Striker is a great example of that. It'd be like before it was very viable, and now it's at 3. It's like yeah, it could still be good, but you're down 2 Widowmakers now. So like, why take that chance when you got other decks that are closer to full power at the moment?
I think
Yeah.
we're oversimplifying it a bit with the good players. They still they definitely still enjoy these other decks, and they'll play them and stuff. But once it comes to those like
No,
once
but
it comes
they
to
won't
those
play them past the point of them being bad, like to the point of where they're not meta. Like, oh, don't get me wrong, casual play could be a very different story. I'm referring to like competitive, like
Yeah, no, I'm
regionals
also-
and higher. Yeah,
like there was this mate I had in at Brisbane locals at Guff. Shout out Guff. Lincoln,
would go for it.
right?
Yeah.
I just showed up with my Dynamist deck one day, and I remember this, and he was like, "Oh, Dynamist Pepe, that's my favorite deck of all time."
Yeah.
And I was like, "This is a very, very good player saying this."
Yeah, but he's not playing it, right?
Well, no.
Yeah, I'm saying people can like whatever they like, but they're gonna take what he gives them. The
Yeah, I'm saying to like mad things, but he was playing like Paleozoic at the time.
Yeah.
It's like they're not. It's not always like.
When was he playing it? Because Paleo was like the best deck for a while. Like 60
Oh, it might have been then,
60 card-
actually.
60 card Paleo Frog was like.
Actually, I think it was then.
that was
Eh?
absolutely the best deck at the time.
With
I hated that deck so
Um,
much.
And then
I
once
hated
again,
when
that
60
was the same
card
thing,
decks
right?
were
As soon as Grass got banned, everyone was like, okay, well this deck's dead. Like, so and once again, some people try and play smaller 40 card variants of it with some varying degree of success, but it's just not there anymore.
You can probably still play that deck now that Monster Gate's at 3.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, it almost do the same thing.
But tell you what, I am looking forward to my Orcus matchups a lot more now, knowing that I will be maining the Nibiru. Just like, obviously, Lunalight, you know, if they've got it, they've got it. But, like, for the other variants of stuff, it's just nice knowing you've got this answer to just things.
Just trying to work it out. Like, for just basic Orcus board, they can do it with just 4.
With just 4?
Yeah.
For what?
Like, normal summon, send, summon from deck, summon, link. Like, they probably wouldn't even need to do the other link. Like, you could just sit on Galatea with counter trap. Like, it's not a good board, I'm just saying it's not a Nibiru board.
Who is it at our locals? Jonathan? Is that his name?
Yeah?
I remember he made, what was it? He made Nyala as the 5th summon. And I had Nibiru in hand a while ago, and I was just like, why would you even do this? Like, if this is what you're scared of, why are you doing it?
Yeah, you only want the 5th summon if it's not going to be as a thought that it needs to be a thing where the board is, like, recoverable. So that's what I like with Thunder.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I really have to find myself an Appaloosa at some point. With Hawk and Solar, Bashman Solar and Hawk, it's the 5th summon is raw summoning Dark. So you've got some Summoner, Batteryman, and Dark. So at that point, if you get Nibiru, you still get a search off of Dark.
Yeah.
And then it's like, if they don't Nibiru it, and there's not much point in Nibiruing it, it's a bad Nibiru if you do it at that point. Then you just go link 4 into Appaloosa for 3 negates, and then
they can't do
Nibiru
it.
is irrelevant at that point. And then you still search with Dark. And you I like it now because you can generally end with either a live Titan or have Colossus, and it's Colossus plus potentially 3 negates.
Yeah.
So like I feel like Appaloosa is definitely the bit that was missing from Thunder.
Yeah.
For quite a while, and especially now that like Heretic Seal and stuff's a lot harder to really access or to do at a net game. But I'm
At least
forward
in Thunder Dragon, it's harder. Like,
Yeah.
Heretic's still pretty easy for Pendulum to get
But
into.
as Nibiru is just so good because I feel like even now I can be like, I go first, I open Nibiru, and let's just say it's otherwise a brick. Just I don't know. Let's just be kind of generous here and say Matrix Hawk. Let's go.
Yeah.
Matrix into Linkaribo, search another Matrix, Hawk for the Matrix back, make Colossus. It's a pretty shit board. People will play through it. But to play through it, they probably will start committing to the board.
Yeah.
And then you just hit the oh shit button and be like, oh, rock.
The oh shit button.
Yeah. Yeah. You're like, Colossus, you're not doing the job anymore.
It's like, I'm about to
Fucking
rock your world.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson is coming.
Dwayne the Wrong Johnson.
Yeah.
The wrong.
I'll Dwayne your Johnson.
Dwayne,
God.
the wrong Dongson.
The wrong dongs.
Nibiru is insanely hard to play around.
Yeah.
And like we were discussing before, so many people are maining it now just for that, like, basically for the oh fuck factor. Like,
Yeah.
my hand is shit. Like, it may even be shit because they drew Nibiru. Like,
There's so many hand traps at the moment as well too, which I kind of like in the sense of you can now run certain hand traps that have fallen out of favor and people just like will lose to it. Like I've seen a few
Diddy
ones on
Crow,
stream.
Gang.
Diddy Crew, yeah, what's one example? The one I'm more thinking of is actually Ghost Bell.
yeah, honest, I started running that in my side again the other week.
No one plays around.
I'm maining
No.
it in
Yeah.
Disguise Tracker list.
So I would, and I don't think
Because it's like you do it against, what is it, Hawk? And it stops activation.
do it against-
Or
Hawk
is
or
it...
the fusion spell.
Yeah, it's
you're
like,
right.
it stops activation. It's like, you're done.
Yeah,
your turn is over.
It's also a counter to Call by the Grave as well.
Yeah.
It's so good.
But it had fallen out of fashion, and I don't justify people. Sorry, I don't hold it against people for not running it. But at the same time, like I can see why it works because I 100% in this current meta wouldn't respect it. I wouldn't be like doing a play being like, oh shit, maybe this will get like belled. No.
You got to be in it to win it.
But I think there's just so many like you can never play around everything, right?
No.
So it's like okay, they could have Vela, Ash, Ogre, Bell,
There's too many.
Impermanence, Nibiru.
Just make one card that does everything.
Well, Nibiru kind of does that. Not everything,
Yeah.
but it gets rid of
But we
everything.
get, we get the Harpies Rageki next set as well, which is a lot of the same kind of thing. Just like
I mean, I hate this, but it's at the same time, I'm like, this is what we've been asking for. We wanted a game where
No.
we can't just go first.
Yeah, I like it. I love that it has some relevant restrictions on it though.
Yeah,
So
it's like you can't have a face-up
be
card.
you can't play Cancer Floodgate.deck and then also use this fucking card as well to like pop stuff. So you got to be not running back row
Why can you not?
because you can't control any face-up cards.
Oh, true.
Shout out to Subterra players
but
who are like,
in saying that, you can still run Floodgate.deck.
Oh yeah, I mean you can't
Like
use it
Draco,
once.
Draco do it to some success. I saw it on a replay because like you just go first, you set it amongst all your cards with Demise, and then like activate it later.
Yeah, you could. Like, I don't think they really need to though. Like I don't even know. I don't think I'd run it in True Draco. Like side it, yeah, but like
Maybe it wasn't Draco.
don't get me wrong,
Subterra.
you could.
It was
yeah.
fucking Subterra.
yeah, no. What I was about to say, yes. Well, I might just throw that as well. Subterra players like, oh, this is always live for us. It's like, shout out to that hidden city that's on your board.
Yeah.
It's
What's the exact word?
definitely not. It's
Called no face-up cards.
Yeah, or is it spells, or is it?
no, all
no
face-up
face-up.
cards.
It is all face-ups. Okay.
On your, there can only
What's
be
it called
one.
again?
You're not activating this
Lightning
card.
Yeah, something like that. Why can't they call it Harpy Geeky?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that immensely because it's just
Yeah.
we just need a better blowout.
What
card.
should be like only printed in prismatic rare, so it's like 1 per 2 cases.
And it's ugly.
Yeah.
How did they make prismatics ugly? Have you
It
guys ever
looks so
seen?
bad.
Have you guys ever seen like prismatic anti-spells? That's like so fucking nice.
Yeah, those are the Hobby League ones, right?
No.
Also, the
Although,
hard
to
ones
be
per
fair though, we've had prismatics before as well, like the full ones, like the Tiger King and stuff.
the hard ones per turn on Lightning Storm.
And
is
everybody
relevant
hated those.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
but
I
the
suppose
interesting
you're
thing
right.
with that is it's activate, not use.
True.
So if they hard negate it and you open another one, you just do it again.
True. That's very true. I like that because I think that's very necessary considering we got fucking Judgment at 3 still.
Yeah, still.
I'm
We haven't
judging
just got
that
enough
decision.
Yeah, and I say still
Hooray,
because it didn't go back to one of the losses.
I don't think it ever will, to be honest.
No, it is like don't get me wrong. It's I guess salty at it, but like it is probably a necessary evil at this point. Like everything is just so good that we have to keep releasing better stuff to keep that in check. But then that's too good, and then other shit's like everything's okay because everything's broken at the moment. Like,
Just give us cross-out designator, please.
like
For
That'll
real.
be the only defense against Nibiru.
What?
Once we get
Cross-out.
cross-out designator.
Or you could just activate like Super Poly at the same time that they activate. Wait, no, that wouldn't work.
What?
What?
Never mind. I'm committing no talk.
Commit seppuku.
Alrighty, fellas, I have a question to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys have any like secret, like, you know how some people have affairs?
Yeah.
Have you? No. Wait. Have you guys ever had like an affair with a deck, like that you've never talked about, like a moment where you've really started to like, you've started testing with a deck online or something, and you've deaded the idea for some reason, but you were like super into it for a moment, like a guilty pleasure of a deck.
Oh,
Valkyrie.
So you're asking if I had a side deck?
Oh Jesus! Oh Jesus!
da-da-da-da-da.
Don't pretend like that wasn't a great joke.
I
It
mean,
was
I
a.
was-
Good, it was a. I'll pay it. I'll
I mean,
pay it.
as many of you know, I was kind of keen to make that FTK up until like the band. was
Yeah, but that, everyone
inevitably-
knew about that.
Yeah.
What you got? What you got that's hidden?
I wouldn't call it hidden, but like I haven't played it in forever. I've even after this new ban list, I've been playing plenty of Magispectre online. Magispectre, Pendulum Magicians. That's
It's
been kinda
very
fun.
good.
It's
It gets like
it's not-
destroyed by Nibiru though.
yeah. Oh no, not really, because you'll like almost always set a Tempest, and you just be
Yeah.
like, no.
You can't Tempest on the turn that you do it.
Oh,
Yeah, what are you talking about?
No, what am I talking about? Oh, never mind.
No, yeah, that goes.
Yeah,
to
no,
Nibiru.
yeah, fuck then, yeah. That's kind of fun actually. There's actually quite a lot of relevance to it, because
Non-targeted
despite Dingy and a few others which obviously get around certain things, but there's a lot of stuff which still does target or destroy.
Mm.
Like I remember a lot of my fun things I had, which was when like you judgment it, like people would like I'd search on them and they'd be like, oh, judgment no, and then it's like, oh cool, but Magispectres still stay on board because fuck you, they can't be killed.
Just fuck you.
Yeah. And I always found that kind of fun. It's just kind of nice to be like, just chain link them however you want. What's the worst that's going to happen? They can't target them. They can't destroy them.
Oh, you want to strike it? Pay 1,500. It's still there.
Yeah.
It's still
The
there.
only scary thing with strike is obviously when you're Pendy still in the backyard.
Yeah.
But like,
You
that's
still
scary
strike.
with every pendulum deck.
Yeah, and you can still,
And you want to go first anyway.
you can still play around that quite a bit anyway. Like you can, like, to an extent, like you just do like 1 to 2 at a time and just keep building your advantage. And then it's like, you know, if they strike 1 or 2, most of the times I see it's not worth it. And the field spell's great. Obviously, you just replace it and shit. Like, I've always
Ashing the field spell in that deck felt so good though.
Yeah, they just need, like anything, they just always inherently needed a
Tom is dying. Well, he's also not talked for the entire podcast.
Oh, I need some
So
water.
the only noise you
Real
decided
bad.
to make was disruptive.
Real bad
Yeah.
anymore.
So like I found Magic Makers actually I've been really enjoying it.
How do they go without Acapane now?
You just don't do that stuff. You just go back to more just control, like with the back row and shit.
Because
And
it was
also-
pretty
so,
cool with
So
Acapane.
it's got a few things. So it leans on, it's like a shittier version of Pendulum Magicians really. So you still use like a lot of the pendulum, you know, starters and shit. So your curtain raisers, your dark worms and stuff like that. So dark worm is a very good part of it, like having the low scale searchable, the +1, and also the free summon. Like this is assuming you Dragon Shriner or some shit, right?
Yep.
That is the kind of pluses that the Magic Spectre deck needs to be somewhat like viable.
Yep.
So when you have the scales almost always taken care of like that, you have the free starters, you get Electromite out beforehand. It's like it's quite good.
Have you?
And then you make Boral Sword.
It's just sort of taking advantage of all the.
Yes. So you set up the first turn ideally. You try and stop whatever plays they're doing, and then next turn you just kind of summon things back out, search, and then hopefully Boral Sword OTK or just stun them to the point of hopefully stopping them.
If Acapane hadn't have gotten banned, I honestly think I might have played that deck at YCS.
It was fun. It was
Like,
fun. Sorry, Jake, you were about to say something.
Yeah, I literally just had the thought of like, would Endymion be a better variant for that deck?
Maybe.
For no other reason than the Servant is a win spellcaster, so you contribute it with the field spell after you've used the summon effect to summon from deck.
huh?
I don't mind that synergy. Yeah.
Video
Like,
coming soon where we
Big
all.
brain.
There's quite a few good synergies
Bro.
there because you can run. Obviously, it's at 1 now, but 1 terraforming is kind of nice because there's usually a myriad of field spells. Like, because you could run City.
Well, you use the Endymion field spell, you could use
Use one
Royal
Magister
field
Pegasus.
spell.
Oh, it's kind of hot, you know.
Yeah, it could be skinny. I don't mind.
Could you get 3 spells off for the thing though? For the Servant?
It depends what variant you're on. Like I messed around with you're probably gonna hate this, but I took a little bit of inspiration from Triff's latest Pendulum deck, only to the point of running Into the Void.
Into the Void. Oh, you're a legend, dude.
Yeah, because I was
Into
like,
the Void's so
I
good.
was like, in
That's
theory,
one of the few things that I agree with him with. Because
And he did that too. That was him.
Dude, he.
So, because you always want to set everything anyway and just set your background and whatnot, like that's fine. And that seems to be the better way to run 36 card decks, right? That and Upstart.
Yeah.
Because it's not, I don't know, the other option is running things like Desires and the like, to try Wavering Eyes, I guess, but like, I don't really like it.
I love Wavering Eyes.
Wavering
I
Eyes
love
would be
Wavering
good.
Eyes in MR3, that shit was broken, but less so now.
Does
But it
Harry
came
still have
back
his
to
collection
3.
of like 400 Wavering Eyes?
And also, like, Ash was not a thing when Wavering Eyes was first out.
True. And no, he doesn't. When
No?
Wavering Eyes came back to 3, he got rid of them because they spiked real hard.
Then he's a smart dude.
He bought Sky Strikers literally just before they got banned again.
Oh, yeah, law.
I'd be kind of interested to see Plush Fire come back, just to see what chaos it brings. If it
I
actually
didn't
comes.
play properly in Pepe format. Like I was still playing Gradle when people were doing Pepe, so like I didn't fully understand how nuts that deck was. I still probably don't.
Yes,
It's
and you.
just-
Yeah, bad decks.
No,
My deck was probably better than your deck.
Plush Fire was just no.
We had Match Spectres and Cosmo running around in the same format when Gradles are hard targets.
Yeah.
Yosenju's are also hard targets.
Yeah, but you ran
I want to play.
Kaijus.
I want to play Yosenju when that. Wait, have we got everything?
Yeah, it came out.
Bro, and remember I was like, we have to... You know what? I was doing 3 Nibiru on the main before anyone else, and I was doing it in fucking
shit.
Yosenju. Wasn't I? You were... You
I
can
saw
watch
it,
the
I saw
video
it. I
2
wanna-
months
I
ago.
want to build that as my new side ho deck. I want to do that.
That's a good deck.
I like it. It's fun.
It legitimately plays through a lot, and that card isn't once per turn.
That fucking spell that just says
Add whatever
use
you
the
want.
scales.
And play scales. It's like...
Yeah.
okay, this is essentially like a plus one or
Yeah.
2 in some way, right? Because you can, no, it's plus 1, but it's like you can activate it as many times as you want, and you just like then you pendulum summon a million things, and if you summon dieback at the same time, can't be negated. They can't strike your summon, and they can't strike the effect either.
Yeah.
You just bounce everything, and it gets buffed to 800 million attack.
Yeah, that TK's like a motherfucker.
It's like,
actually,
oh, Nibiru token is like 12,000? Oh, well. it's
bounced now. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's bounced, I guess. But it wouldn't matter, because I'd still destroy it.
But yeah, no, Magic Spectres, I think good fun on the side. Good fun. I might I might experiment with the Endymion stuff soon.
Yeah, give it a go.
Give it a crack. Give it the old college try.
What about you, Jake? Have you ever had a side hoe deck?
I don't think I actually have. Like, there's plenty of decks that I fucking mess around with, but I'd tell fucking everyone about it. Like,
You've never had a deck that you've been really ashamed about that you haven't told anyone that you want to try it.
I almost tried salad, but I got intervened, which was good.
I chose steak.
I pretty much broadcast every shitty deck that I would go with. Like, Dark Lords. I fucking love Dark Lords. They're bad, but I fucking love them. What's another one?
They just need to be all level 8, and then they'd be like...
Why are they not all level 8? It's beyond me.
And that's probably the worst thing about them is that, like, they're all over the place in terms of levels, so you can't run, like, a consistent draw card. Like, you run Trade-In because most of them are level 8. Like, when I say most of them, that's 2.
You get
It's gotta be one
3
of the best,
Trade-In,
it's gotta be
you
one
get
of the
3
best decks for
Allure.
reasoning though, right?
Trade-In, Allure, the
Into the Void.
effect. No, you don't do Into the Void.
Why not?
Because you need cards in hand to do stuff.
Lame.
Yeah, like, I've never seen a deck that has so much draw power do so little.
Have you? I present to thee
They have
flower
like
cardians.
the they have like the original Crackdown though, essentially with their fucking thing, right?
You know what?
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah,
Actually-
except you had to give it back in the end.
Speaking of Exodia FTKs, like I don't know if it was
Super
the last one,
Rejuve.
but how good's that Super Rejuve one? Oh my god!
That's so
I've been playing that a
Tell you
lot.
what, I was saying, you know,
God, that deck never gets its win con off.
I never knew the draw rule properly. Tell you what, I always thought that the draw rule said when you went to draw on your draw phase, if you couldn't, you lose.
Yep.
And I almost commented on something online being like, hey, isn't it this? Then I was like, I'll just take a look. And no, it's absolutely correct. At any time, if you try to draw and can't, you lose.
Yeah, but it's
I
like,
was like, oh, shit.
it's like,
So if you want to appease your opponent when they've got nothing, you win there.
yeah, for sure. But it's like, if let's say you've activated 3 Super Rejuve to draw like 15 cards or whatever, and you have 14 in deck, you still win because you're going to draw the Exodia first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Exodia doesn't fucking care about chain links. So it doesn't matter with them. It's like, they could activate to draw 15 and have 1 card in deck. If that's the last piece of Exodia, they win.
I'm not sure about that because decking that is a loose condition. So you've got a win condition versus a lose condition.
Yeah, Exodia overrules everything. Well, because
I don't know. I don't think
No,
it does.
because you win before you would lose, because you draw the last piece.
People have been showing this replay where they lose because they've miscounted on it. I think you actually do lose
Oh,
first,
no,
because
that's
you're
true.
resolving the effect
Yeah, no,
first.
remember the Team Sam video?
That is true. No, you need to calculate it. You can't.
Because
What, do you draw all the cards at once?
So Exodia, keep in mind, Exodia does not activate, but it cannot happen mid-chain.
It can.
No, it can't.
No.
On Dark World dealings,
It
you
cannot-
don't have to discard before you win off Exodia. That's the exact same stuff. That's an official like Konami ruling too. So either they've got something wrong
I
here,
think
or
that's-
YGO Pro is bugged.
No, I think that's different because you have Exodia in your hand before discarding the card. That is an effect. I'm talking about a lose condition has occurred before your win condition is there. So before,
Has it though? Because to lose,
You're-
it means every card is in your hand, and
You're-
then you try to draw.
You're resolving the effect, and during that resolution of the effect, as it's happening, you've gone to draw and you can't.
Yeah, but at that time you
are
already
drawing the
have
cards
all the.
simultaneously while you would pick up the
If
cards
it
one
is,
by one.
if it is, basically you pick up 6 cards off the top of your deck and put them in your hand, and that all happens at the same time. I agree, 100%. You lose.
Then that's how it happens.
Okay, that's how it
because
happens
the
then.
way that YGO Pro's art is
Well,
done, you
coded,
draw a card
but-
one by one.
Yeah. because and Rejuve's the same. It doesn't say keep drawing a card for thing. It's like draw cards equal to
So
the
if you
attributes
have
you've done. So
15 cards left in deck, it says to draw 16. You go boom.
yeah, technically you should almost pick it up in a pile, but you do it for the sake of like
Okay, yeah.
transparency to go
I get
one at
that.
a time. But
Makes sense.
I don't know. It's and like anything, if anyone's listening, obviously this would definitely be a fucking question to ask your head judge if you're fucking actually gonna run this. But
Or
You know
or
what?
don't.
I'm telling
You could also
you,
not do it.
That's
yeah.
also an option.
I'm telling you right now,
That's still champ.
it's gonna be,
I'm
it's
putting
gonna,
in drolls for you, by the way.
it's gonna be ruled differently. Don't ask your head judge and just do it until you get called on it.
Speaking of Rejuve, did you guys all watch the Blue Eyes video with Rejuve?
Nah.
No.
I've played that deck. It's very fun, but as per Blue Eyes tradition,
It's
Ricky
bad.
as fuck.
Yep.
But like, it's actually
What do you
pretty
mean?
fun
You're
when
the
it goes
Blue
up.
Eyes King.
It's actually
You had Blue Eyes.
It's
too,
actually
don't you?
not good in Blue Eyes. It's actually not as viable as you'd think it is. Like, because for discarding and tributing them, it doesn't happen as often as you'd think it would. Like, it's trading, you might get two, but it's like, it's such a thing where you have to open the Rejuve, and then also open all the things that discarded, and like, without
Trading,
bricking
cards
Cards
of
of
consonants,
consonants.
Yeah.
going to more.
Melody. No, Cards of Consonants is terrible. But,
I mean, for the sake of Rejuve, you'd probably play one.
You play that one cat
Yeah,
surf
maybe.
thing.
maybe, like, it runs a hyper level 8s, and then, the luck factor in it is, because you run all the dangers as well. In an ideal world, you go danger effect, discard a dragon, summon it, draw, and you're rejuving later, and that's all going to count towards it. It's just so much RNG that needs to go your way for like still a very
But then,
mediocre.
like,
as fuck
yeah,
board.
you're drawing cards, but you're drawing cards in Blue Eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like you're not really achieving anything.
I mean, let's just switch decks halfway and you're drawing decks.
One thing I like about playing it is it uses like Red Eyes Darkness Metal like I don't know like anywhere from 2 to 5 times in the same turn, which is kind of cool. It actually because it still
God.
uses Pisty and LP in it, just not Agapane obviously.
Hmm.
Why not?
I don't know, doesn't feel like it.
Tom has left at the.
Yeah,
that
that's
time,
kind of
which
really screwed me over because I didn't have mine yet. I would say
surely
mine's
you've got,
probably
Like 20.
no, because I do the same thing you do, and I tell everyone everything.
Yeah.
Look, if I had to pick a deck that would surprise people that I went pretty ham on for a while,
Skystrike.
Blackwings. I really tried Blackwings because Harley made them sound so funny when he was like, "A's, bro." And I thought they were so funny because he was sending us all to
Piss
the...
out of him. He listens to the pod.
I'm not taking the piss out of him. He went to the Blackwing dimension.
The last
taking
time,
the
the last
piss out
time
of
I
it.
remember Blackwings genuinely being good.
Blackwing Orcus was very good.
Blackwings were very, very good
Yes.
last year because they also just made Firewall fucking
Yeah.
combat. They were just like not Spiral but doing it. Wait, was Spiral last year or the year before? How long was it?
Year before.
Year before.
No, that was last year.
2017.
No, it was 2018. 2017 was who?
True.
I remember.
was who? There was no Spiral.
2017 was fun.
I think Zodiac's the best deck of all time.
Yeah.
Even
Oh,
now. I
Like-
think it would still be the best deck of all time.
Oh, wait, you mean
Everything-
powerful or like fun? I'm
Powerful.
saying from fun, I reckon it was the best, like, funnest meta.
No.
No, it had like fucking like 1 to 2 pops.
Yeah, and it stopped everything. Because
No,
you could
once
Because it
also...
was all just
1
mirrors.
to
there was
2
nothing
pops
else.
with its monsters, and then like 3 strikes. And hand traps.
You're forgetting that
But that's
it would... The
terrible,
2
man.
pops would leave you with 4 cards in hand. Sometimes like 7. If you did the combo right.
Like,
Like,
I
you would have
would-
7 cards in hand, just set a bunch of strikes, draw 3 at the end of the turn. It's like, do whatever the fuck
I
you
would
want.
not even consider the best version of Zoo to be half as good as the end board of Spiral was. Like, not even half as good. No way.
I think if Zoo came back to full power now, it would still be the best deck.
No. Oh, yeah, maybe now that everything's been fucking neutered.
Even next format.
I guess we'll see. But like, Dryden wasn't that good. It was just very accessible. Like, so it was consistency.
You forget they
With
made
the
other
average-
stuff besides Trident.
Yeah, I guess so. But like,
Like, once those fusion
so
sub
one of their
plays
strongest
came in.
plays was flipping Dimensional Barrier, which is like irrelevant now. You could run strikes, I guess, but so can every day.
What about my dingoes?
It was just it had consistency and stuff, but I think it's just it was in this void where not much else was really good in that meta, and it was extremely consistent, and we're still in MR3 for the most part. I think just too much stuff's changed. So MR4, the deck took a huge power dive in from how it ran. The combo was just nowhere near as efficient. and then like its
Well,
best
two
ship
of your summons had to go into a link summon just so you could get a decent ball.
Yeah, and obviously in its strongest form, we had the whole fucking Norden fusion sub, all that kind of bullshit. Like it set the back row on that because you drew so much. So yeah, like there was some things. You know, if you're talking that version of Zoo, then maybe that would hold a candle to things at the moment, but nothing in Link MR4, I don't think.
I think at full power, I don't think you can understate the amount that deck could just keep going. Like, I think, like, especially now, they'd have a lot of broken shit to work with, too.
They would need an extremely good link to do it, in my opinion. I think
they could abuse other links.
Maybe, but, like, they don't easily make the links and then go off type of thing. And, like, that, even then, if Zoo was still susceptible to interruption very easily, Barrage on the... Ogre on the effect of Barrage sometimes just ended your turn.
Or just, if you ever negated the first summon.
Yeah. Or flip the first summon face down. That was also a big thing.
Flippy boy!
Yes.
Who cares about that? Dynamist had the best fucking matchup against Zoo ever.
Why?
It did, didn't it? It had quite a good one.
Quite a good one. I beat you like 15 times in a row.
Yeah, because Dryden does fucking nothing. Yeah, they're just like...
Dryden does nothing and you just flip Horn of Heaven. And they'd lose.
Yeah. Well, even outside of that, just the fucking... You go to pop something, then they protect it, and then charge goes off, adding the shit just back.
It's the same reason why...
You've just gone on net loss for trying to destroy their shit. Like,
it's the same reason why it's good against Sky Striker.
Yeah.
It's the exact same reason. You already have the best matchup.
Yeah. I honestly think Dryden could come back to 3 at any time, and it's fine. Broad Bull is more the thing that leads to things that aren't so good. Like, even outside of Zoo.
Like, you can overlay two...
Yeah. It's the same way that anything that can make 4 Strix can access Blackwing, the Zephyros dude. Similarly, this is even more generic because it literally is any 2 level 4s, and you can access any Beast Warrior type of thing, so... That always led to some shit.
I realise we passed the point where I should have said this, but I'm going to bring it up anyway. On Tuesday night, I hard summoned Nibiru. I mean, not Nibiru, that's easy. Dingrizu.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, mind controlled Boris.
I mind controlled Vanilla Blue Eyes, summoned Gizmek from hand, exceed properly into Dingrizu. It's fucking amazing.
You've committed sin.
I had game 2. Like, I didn't even need to summon it. It was just the opportunity was there, and I'm like...
Just flexing.
I've considered running
Dingrisu
in...
Lots of people do. You know what else? All the striker lists I've seen now, they all run Dingirsu.
Yeah, because the MC they're...
you just mind control it, or Widow Anchor, or whatever you want to do. You just take it and you're like, it's mine now, Dingir.
That strategy's been around for ages, because people did the same thing in striker format. You'd MC their Kagari, and then you turn it into your own Shizuku. And then
back into Yate.
Yeah, and then it doesn't trigger the Rain Grave, and like it was a very, very good way to out a lot of that stuff. It was very... Mind control is just like just gets better and better with time, I feel like.
It really does.
It card's just more and more good.
Isn't there a card that does pretty much what it does but worse, and it's a 1 or some shit?
No, there was Snatch Steel that went to 1 for like a
They
month,
seemed
and then they were like, yeah, this was a mistake, and put it back to 0.
To be fair though, you kept the monster under Snatch Steel.
Yeah.
And you
but they get 800 life points or some shit.
No, you gave them 1,000 life points every...
The amount of games you just lose from the guy top decking it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was like
because
the
most
commons
of the
shot
time
up
they'd
to
steal
like...
your like Blackluster Soldier and just kill you.
The commons shot up from like worth nothing to like 10 to 20 bucks overnight type of thing, and yeah, I think that's the first time in quite a while we've ever had something come back for once, and then they were just like, no.
Nah, fam.
This was a mistake.
This ain't working.
Skull Combat.
What, 3 times almost? 2 times now.
Did only last one list this time?
2.
Yeah.
It was back for 2 this, and then they're like, well, you got Electromite now, so we're just gonna take this back.
Shoot.
Well,
Yes,
you've got Electromite now, you know. You're 1 Electromite.
Maybe we should...
Why can we not have 4
I reckon
Electromite?
that's something we should like do a small little case study on at some point. Cards that have been on the list multiple times.
It's
like,
so hard to find old lists, though. They're
like,
so hidden for some reason.
Malicious is like probably another one, which keeps going from 1 to 2 to 3 to 3.
Monster
No,
Reborn.
it's never been a 1, sorry.
I think
it's
it
just...
has been a 1
Has it?
before. Yeah,
Maybe.
I think one of its first hits had it at 1.
Must have, yeah.
Fellas, do you think Monster Reborn would be broken at 3?
No.
No.
No, same as Raigeki. They could both be at 3, and you'd still run them at 1 each at the most, I think.
I don't think anyone runs Raigeki. I don't think anyone ever will.
Yeah, and Monster Reborn's almost at a similar... The only good thing about Monster Reborn is you can... and I still, to this day, don't agree with this, but you can still summon any Link monster from the graveyard. I completely think that was a flaw with the mechanic. I don't think you ever should have been able to... Either you should never have been able to revive them from the graveyard all up, or they should, at most, in my opinion, should have been counted as a Link 1 when they're not Link summoned. I think that was the biggest mistake with Links, in my opinion.
I think Links were a mistake as a whole.
Yeah, I think it's too busted when things can just bring it back. Like, I fundamentally hated that with Spiral. The trap card, like, I thought was fine up until it could bring back...
I didn't like the fact that it could bring back the Link.
Yeah, there's too many things which just shouldn't have been doable with Links, in my opinion, that didn't. And they just always ended up being ridiculously busted. And then as per Konami, they let it be fucking cancerous for like 6 months and then decide that it's broken and ban it. Fireball, Gumbler.
We love you, Konami. Please invite us to the next Worlds.
We would like to open free product, please.
Tom, have you ever played a deck and it's like a guilty pleasure and you haven't?
He's definitely ticked the first box, but in terms of not telling people, I doubt. But
No. The only one that I can think of is Valkyrie.
But you've told everyone about that.
I fucking love that
If
deck.
I had played Valkyrie, I wouldn't have told anyone about it.
I wish it worked.
We got anything else to say, really?
I just want to say that when the other shit comes out, there's so much I want to do with this Predator Plant Link. I want to play Shuttle Dinosaurs again. That looks really fucking fun with this new shit. And I want that in...
Oh, Dinosaurs. I played Dinosaurs for a while.
Yeah. Shuttle Dinos with that new Link is, like, really good.
I just
Really,
want
really
cross out
fucking
Designator already.
Oh, we should talk about the,
You said Shadow Fusion, you said Instant Fusion, you said fucking...
Any card with fusion in the name.
Yeah, it's great. And polymerization, to fuse
Super
two
poly,
monsters
woo!
together.
from your hand or field
Yes.
into a fusion monster.
No, it makes a link.
Then shuffle it.
It would be really funny if they made a card that said Link summon with monsters on your field. And that was it. And it wasn't a quick play or anything, it was just a spell.
Yeah.
No, even worse, it was a trap, but you could only activate it on your turn in the main phase.
Oh, that's another one. It's definitely not secret, but yeah, I've definitely played Muskets online.
Oh, everyone knows.
I love, yeah, with the trap, it's actually so good. With the trap and Max, I love it. That
Max is like
called?
the best Link card that
The World
exists
Legacy
in
trap.
in a deck that just does not deserve it.
Yeah, the World Legacy Trap, it's like the only deck so far that card's fucking good in. But that's so good. Maxing off turn for like...
Well, the other decks have IP Masquerana now, if they want to link someone off turn.
Yeah, that's true.
Or the Unchained!
Ooh.
Unchained
I'm so
Draco.
keen.
Real quick, we should probably talk about the shitholes.
Oh, true.
They got announced.
Yeah.
They're bad.
Yeah, a little bit.
That is all. The first one misses timing like Dark Destroyer. You know, it's like a soft
I mean,
miss
it does.
timing. Like the new fusion, where it's like it's going to be summoned, the other thing's effect is going to go through, then you're going to be able to activate its effect to negate it. Because it's when it's summoned. So it's going to work like Dark Destroyer, the thing's going to go off and then you're going to pop it.
It just
It
targets,
depends on what it
targets
is.
a
It
card
targets
to...
any card.
Yeah, so it's
Sure, it's still not. Like,
No,
what
no,
are you doing?
It's fantastic, but it's you got to think of it a little bit different. It's like it's kind of like the fucking synchro that Agapane used to always bring out. So
Red Hot.
Red Hot, yeah, in a sense.
Yeah,
It doesn't-
except Red Hot was better.
Red Hot was better, yeah, but like you can just I've seen people do it where they're playing under a floodgate and they can just get that out and then it negates the floodgate for the turn. So
Yeah.
you go like search, send, negate, and then you're playing free. Like
Well, yeah, but in pure shitholes, like, what is playing free? What do they actually do past that?
It's playing pure shit dolls.
well, they go second type of thing, but like from what I've seen, but they usually have some sort of other engine with them. But I don't know. This one seemed to be dedicated for going second because you just get a few things on board. Then once again, it'll be about going into this Predator Plant Link. You use its effect, change the opponent's monster to dark, use some effect, pay 2k, send Super Poly from deck to grave, like take over their whole board. That with the latest version of the Predator Plant thing makes that super viable.
Okay.
With Construct back to 3 as well, like there's quite a, like it does a fair bit. It's quite, like I don't mind it. I think...
The art's really nice.
Yeah.
The art...
Yeah, new alternate art.
No. The art for this new fusion.
I honestly
The
think,
art for the fusion
Oh,
is
the big
actually
fishy.
sick.
I honestly think once we got the Predator Plant Link and the new
We should
shuttle
have again.
support, I think
If we
it'd be
get
a
it.
solid tier 2 going second deck.
But we'll never get the protopaint leak because we're still waiting on fucking needle fiber. So good luck with that.
See you in 2 years.
Needle fiber is just the new DVDs.
I'm starting to wonder if needle fiber, like at this point, if
It
it's even
wouldn't
that
do
bad.
anything. Like the cards that made it good aren't relevant anymore.
Yeah, fucking bad thing, fuck.
Like the best thing that Crystron needle fiber could do is make Crystrons good. And even then,
Christian's pretty good.
they're just annoying. They're not actually good.
Yeah, but like, I don't underestimate the power of annoying.
Mac Shifty. I know the power of annoying.
You're also you, so like you've got that going.
Mystic Mine.
Fuck off, Dino Mist. Fuck. Piece of shit.
They got a water monster for no reason.
Fuck
Like,
that.
they get their
You
Gishki
said that
monster.
sentence before.
They get their Gishki monster
Yeah.
finally.
I like that the Shadol monster is like
A water?
Evigishki. Yeah, but it's the Evigishki dude. Yeah, I think it's the Necroz Ariel, but it also kind of looks like the dude who's on actually Evigishki. Is it Mind August? I think.
Didn't you used to play Gishkis?
Yeah, I did. I played
But
Turbo Gear, so that was different.
but what did you say the main deck monster name was?
Ariel.
Ariel.
Necroz of Ariel.
I'm pretty sure there was an Ariel in Gishki as
Yeah,
well.
there was. So there's Gishki Ariel, which looks very much. They basically look identical. They're the same thing. I don't really understand why Necroz Ariel, like why that's there. Honestly, lore wise, it doesn't make sense because like she should be a really old bitch by the time she's a Necroz one if she's still alive. So that really doesn't make much sense. But it may just be Gishki Ariel because if we go to the Evigishki pictures here, it is. So it's not.
Talk amongst yourselves, viewers.
Yeah, it's Mind. So it's Mind August. Mind August is 100% the Shadol card that's been corrupted here, and it kind of almost just looks like the Ariel who's on that because I think it's Ariel and something else that gets corrupted into becoming the Evigishkis, if I correctly remember. Anyway.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Brad's gonna edit in the
Pictures.
Yeah.
the pictures.
Yeah. So I thought that was a very interesting one for them to choose to do.
I kind of hope they do it across all the archetypes. Like they end up having like a Mech Knight. No, not Mech Knight.
Shit all.
The only thing that doesn't make sense is
Mech Knight
Knight.
are in the
Yeah.
worst lore.
the only thing that doesn't make sense
Mech
is
Knight is in the worst lore.
The Gishki is
Excuse you.
dual terminal
You
too.
heard me.
I
Say
love
it
Doom
again.
Terminal. Ice Barriers.
Yeah.
I've said
So
it
I'll
twice
say
already.
Fucking again.
Mech Knight, it's the worst lore about
Tell
cards.
me about the law.
Huh?
No, I
it's
think
with
it's
the
a-
fucking crawlers and the fucking...
Yeah, I reckon it's
No,
a-
that's
I think it's
fucking
great.
dope. Fuck you.
Huh?
It plays out like a JRPG. It's like Final Fantasy. Don't talk shit about it. I'll kill you.
JRPGs
No,
are
I
gay
read up on the,
RPGs.
I read up on the Midnight
Okay,
Lore makes this
Donkey.
stuff good.
If I'm being compared to Donkey, I'm fine with that. What were you saying, Andy? You
Oh,
read up on...
Oh no, I was just saying I thought the makeup stuff was pretty good. But I was saying the only thing that doesn't make sense with the Shadol stuff, with that one there, like getting into the fucking deep read shit is the Gishki was kinda like the second gen dual terminal story stuff. And Shadol's, Necroz, Clifford's and that were like the Gen 3.
Yeah.
So every dual terminal stuff essentially ends the same way, where something essentially cataclysmic happens and
So
essentially everything gets wiped, but then and then it gets rebooted basically later on, very very literally.
Hmm.
And
well,
so
always Sophia.
yeah, and so yeah, it's a bit weird that they chose to use Mind August for the Shadol monster, but
Well, I suppose the
What
problem
else?
they had there is that there was limited lore for them to actually like go into new stuff because the dual terminal had ended, and it ended a long time ago. So they
A very long time ago.
so like I suppose they had to go back to older stuff, and that's why I kind of hope that they go back to older archetypes and make more fusions that are based on those. Like, I meant to say Gemini's before, not Mech Knight.
yeah,
Like if
support
they
like
make
see support for lots of stuff would be nice, like especially if it's decent.
Hmm.
Like Necroz had that with Ariel, except it wasn't decent. It was just like terrible. Just out of the blue, they gave us another effect monster, but it was bad.
Where's my Necroz trap?
Yeah, exactly. Clauseless has been living a lie for like forever.
It's weird that they left it so open ended though.
Yeah. You just need like a trap that just says, flip this if you have a Necroz in your hand, draw 8 cards and your opponent loses 7,000 life points. And a counter trap, of course, as well too. So
Yeah, cool. So I can get rebooted and you still.
Counter trap, but it also says your opponent can't,
But it can't
respond.
But it can't respond. Yeah, it's supposed to be.
And if they do, big gay will be placed upon them.
If this card is negated, you win the duel. Sorry.
Also,
the match.
Also, you can run it at 40.
Yeah. They just let you draw at that point.
You're like
15 fucking traps in your head.
You're like, here we go. Look, look.
Your condition would be your lose condition.
Also, going back, I've got a better guilty pleasure deck.
Oof.
Prediction Princess.
Oh my god.
I played the fuck out of Prediction Princess, and so did Blake.
Wait, is that where you run it with the
Pot of the Forbidden?
Yeah, the ritual bitch who flips it all the time. And that, yeah.
The prediction.
And you played Shadows in it too.
Oh, shit.
And
Prediction as well, is it?
Yeah, I heard Prediction Princess,
We shall name her Flippy Bitch.
Flippy Bitch.
How dare you?
Sorry, Flippy Lady. Flipping. Look, that's how it be with bitches,
Flippy
man.
Bitch.
Actually,
You flip and you dip.
Bro, did you play? Actually, I've been wrecked by that deck online before because they go the alternate path of flipping the fucking dog. I can't remember what it was, but there's a dog that just says if it's flip summoned, your opponent, you got like monsters can't be special summon for the rest of the turn. So they wait until you're like standby phase and they do that, and you're like, cool. I guess I'll go fuck myself then. Like, sure.
No, I know. I don't remember what the name of the monster is. But
Ah,
I know
that's
exactly what you're talking
Yeah.
I'm honestly going back through the archives. I honestly can't think of a deck that was bad that I played that I didn't talk about.
I can't think of a deck that you've played that isn't bad. Prediction Princess and Chill coming soon.
I like how you say, "Oh, you've never played a good deck," and then in the same breath say, "Oh, Prediction Princess profile coming."
I reckon I could abuse it. Anyway,
How dare you abuse a princess?
I'm just making a prediction. Anyway, that about wraps things up. I have got a Yahoo question though. Are we ready for this?
Y'all ready for
Any
this?
last parting words before we get into the Yahoo gear?
Talk shit about Meg Knight and die.
Shifty boy.
Tom, would you like to say your first words of the podcast?
I mean, he said something about
Yeah.
Valkyries.
Oh yeah, well.
Yeah,
Anyway,
you've spoken enough.
Yeah.
Now, we're not going to go to his Yugioh because it actually isn't Yu-Gi-Oh related. And that's just not what that segment's about because, you know, that's my brother and me. A different podcast if you want to listen to random Yahoo answers. So, I'm going to dig up my own one. Steve asks, what are some basic combos for the new Yu-Gi-Oh structure deck Order of the Spellcasters? It is basically get Servant out and then summon Endominium, win? So there you go. There you go, Steve on Yahoo. That's your best combo in Order of Spellcasters. Activate every spell while Servant's in your Pendulum Zone, and then win. Unless they have Nibiru. Anyway, so this has been the Cowboy for Game Yu-Gi-Oh podcast. I'm very curious to see if Lachlan even hears this. Please click subscribe, ring the bell, click the bell. Well, or ring it. If you can find a way to ring it, let me know. Anyway, thanks for listening. We'll see you next week, where I probably should be on it if I'm not out, playing Pokemon. Ciao.